So you can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen in a still position, just feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. And just allow yourself to fidget, adjust, stretch, or move in whatever ways your body wants to. Doing your best to not think about the movements, but more letting your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones, muscles, and joints. Just following the yummy sensations you feel, maybe when you do some neck rolls, or cat-cow motions with the spine. Maybe side body bends or torso twists. Or even reaching the arms overhead for a nice big morning stretch. And just feeling the abdomen lengthen, that space between your hip bones and the bottom of your rib cage getting a little bit longer. Giving your organs lots of space to be. And if what feels best to you at any time is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. So you can start to make your way to a still position with the spine nice and straight if you aren't there already, and if that's how you'd like to listen today. And at any time, if you haven't already, you can allow the eyes to gently close. As you mark your arrival into your practice today and into your body today with a full and intentional cleansing breath. You welcome in a long and slow inhale in through the nose and just allow yourself to fill up to every corner and edge of you. As you hold that for a moment once you're full, to sit in that sense of fullness and without straining as you need to, slowly let all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit as you pull the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment to now experience the sense of emptiness. As you allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. And so you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful to you. Not worrying about the length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses on either side, but just letting each of these 4 parts of your breath be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. So when the body would naturally stop inhaling, seeing if you can open up your body a tiny bit more, expand yourself a little bit more, and get as full as you can. And when you would naturally roll over to the exhale, holding off on that for an extra moment to stay in that fullness a little bit longer. And then as you exhale, even once you think you're empty, seeing if you can empty yourself just a tiny bit more. And again, pausing in that emptiness before allowing your next breath to come to you. So we are consciously and intentionally slowing down the process of our breath. Therefore, communicating to our nervous system that now is a time to slow down and relax. Our breath is our one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. So voluntarily slowing down the breath and watching how that helps to allow the rest of your body's processes to slow down as well. Maybe even noticing the heartbeat slowing down slightly. And at any time, if you haven't already, you can release this guidance over your breath altogether as you feel like you're almost stepping back and up in your mind into that role of the observer or the witness. So that you are no longer voluntarily guiding your body to breathe, but you are now observing the automatic process that is your body breathing. Watching as your body breathes you. The same way you may watch waves rolling up along the shoreline. Not trying to change anything about the size or speed of the waves, but just watching as each one comes and goes. Witnessing the force of nature that is your own breath. And making note of any tension that you feel residing in the face. Making note of any expression that is resting on the face. Of any emotions that could be communicated by this resting expression. Maybe the brow is furrowed or the jaw is tense. The nostrils could be flared, or the chin or even the ears could be holding some tension. And just allowing your awareness of this tension be all you need to instead allow these areas to soften. And just feel your jaw hang into place as you allow the tongue to release from the roof of the mouth. As your lips rest softly on one another. Feeling this sense of release in your mouth naturally spread to the chin, to the nostrils, outward and upward to the cheeks, and the upper jaw and the ears, softening a little bit more. Allowing your eyelids to rest softly on one another. And even feeling the eyeballs just resting in their sockets. Allowing your gaze to be soft wherever it is you are looking, whether that be at the world around you or the world within you. Allowing your eyebrows to soften just a little bit more as your hairline releases back and you feel the full width and depth of your forehead. Reminding yourself that it is safe for you to trust your own anatomy. Remembering that when you let go, when you release your muscles and soften your body, everything is held exactly where it needs to be, without any of your holding or doing or direction. The natural intelligence of your own body means that you are safe, even when you are in a deep sleep. And so just reminding yourself of that ultimate and deep core sense of safety that we all possess in these bodies, in this world. With the earth beneath us and with gravity holding us toward the earth, when we let go, we will not float away and we will not be crushed, but we will be held exactly where we need to be. And so even if it's just for a moment, allow yourself to be exactly as you are. And exhale into this moment. Maybe even seeing a depiction in your mind's eye of all of the muscles that exist in your face. Every single tiny muscle that has created every expression you've ever made. And feeling these muscles just ungrip from the bones and release back into the support of your skin. As you allow that sense to naturally spread and take over the rest of the body. As you feel your shoulders become a little heavier. Feeling your arms become soft. Your hands to release. Feeling the muscles down the arms almost roll off of the bones. As you feel all the muscles across your abdomen to soften, rest, and almost hug the organs. As you feel your pelvic floor lengthen and widen into your seat. Softening your glutes a little bit more. As you feel all the muscles down the legs now roll off of the bones. All the muscles in the feet and the toes. As you now maybe see a depiction of your body in your mind's eye. The shape of you. The place where your body makes contact with the surface beneath you. The outline of your body where your skin makes contact with the air around you. Feeling the temperature of the skin or the temperature of the air on the skin. Listening closely to your surroundings. Allowing every single sound that you hear to just be a reminder of this moment. Remembering that we will only ever hear sounds in this present moment. So allowing each and every sound you hear simply be a reminder of this moment. Even if there are sounds that you may first label as distracting or annoying, Just seeing if you can allow each and every sound to just be another part of the symphony of the universe. Noticing all the different layers of sounds that exist around you and how you can tune in to specific sounds. Maybe listening to whatever you can hear that is furthest away from the body. And listening to the sounds of the room you are in, even if it is just quiet, or maybe you first hear silence, listening to all the sounds that still exist within silence. Even the humming of the lights, or the sound of your own heartbeat. As you now start to awaken your sense of sight. And just noticing everything that you can see, even if the eyes are closed. Even if you are just seeing the backs of the eyelids and just darkness. Looking into that darkness. Noticing how or if what you see is affected by what you are hearing, what you are choosing to tune into. And reminding yourself that whatever you can see is also an anchor to this moment. All of our senses will anchor us into this present moment. And so whenever you find yourself getting wrapped up in the world of thought, and when the mind tries to pull you into the past or into the future, and if you would like to stay here in the present, you can use your senses to help you stay here. Knowing that it is natural for the mind to wander, and the mind will wander. It should wander. We should review our past and plan for our future. But we should also take time to simply be in this moment. And remind ourselves that we are perfect exactly as we are. And the fact of our existence is the proof of that. And accepting exactly who you are right now does not mean that you like it or agree with it or with your circumstances or even want your life to be this way. It just simply means that you acknowledge reality. Acceptance simply means that you are not trying to make the world or make yourself or your circumstances something that it's not. It just means that you are acknowledging reality, which is the first and necessary step in any change. And so not only is it possible for you to accept yourself fully for who you are right now, where you are in your life right now, and at the same time have aspirations to grow and be a different person in the future. But it is necessary. You cannot change what you don't first accept. And so this is the same thing for the world around you. It is not helpful to ignore all of the bad parts about life or about ourselves. It's not helpful to shove love and light on top of everything negative that we feel. And maybe it will help us feel better momentarily. But ultimately, when things bubble up from within us and we are scared of them, we shove them down, don't want to look at them, all that does is allows those feelings to embed even deeper within us, where they will control our actions more insidiously. But if instead, when something bubbles up and we can feel some less than pleasant emotions coming, or feelings or thoughts, and if we can remind ourselves to breathe, to be present with these emotions, to allow them to arise from within us and release in whatever way they need to be released, that is how we truly lighten our load. Not by shoving things down and ignoring things, but by opening up and allowing even the negative parts of life to exist. They always will exist. The human experience contains a lot of suffering and hurt and sorrow and pain. And at the same time, it also contains so much love and joy and connection and happiness. And so the goal of this practice, or any healing practice, is not to never experience bad feelings again, or to totally cure ourselves of all ailments and disease. But the goal of this practice can be to simply be more present with your human experience, to have more patience with the ups and downs that life will always have, and to give ourselves the same grace, patience, understanding that we give to the people we love, or even simply to nature. When the trees are shedding their leaves, we do not question them and ask them why they're shedding their leaves, or insinuating that they somehow deserve it. It's just another part of the cycle of life. And the same goes for the moon. When the moon is a new moon and it's in the shadows, we don't question the moon or get angry at it for not showing up. We just understand that the moon is in a new moon phase, where it is not reflecting any light and it is in the shadows. And that same moon will one day again show its full face and be a full moon and be able to shine light for others in the darkness. And that moon will move through every phase in between the new moon and the full moon. And it is not being punished when it is in the shadows. It doesn't mean it did anything wrong. And so you are the same way. If you're in a phase of life right now that feels dark and heavy and like you can't even show face to anyone, and like you just need to hide for a moment, you can allow yourself to do so. We will move through phases where we need to rest more than other phases. And sometimes that heaviest layer of our suffering can be all of those expectations we put on ourselves. The harsh voice within us that when we are resting or crying or feeling really bad, the voice that says, well, you should be grateful, or you should be motivated, you should be happy. And so if instead, when we hear those should thoughts popping up, we can use those thoughts themselves as cues to remind ourselves, whatever I am feeling is exactly what I should be feeling, or else I wouldn't be feeling it. And the only way I move on from this feeling is simply by feeling it. Reminding yourself that you will not be crushed and you will not float away, but you will be held exactly where you need to be. And you are strong enough to feel what you need to feel. You are strong enough to do the things in this life that you know you need to do. And so you can continue to soften your body, to release the muscles, and to allow yourself to be exactly as you are. As you listen to the following words that are written by young Pueblo in his book, The Way Forward. And just allow anything that feels like it resonates with you to soak in a little deeper and not worrying about the rest. They asked her, "How do you get through tough moments?" And she answered, "Do not trust the way you see yourself when your mind is turbulent. And remember that even pain is temporary. Honor your boundaries. Treat yourself gently. Let go of perfection. And feel your emotions without letting them control you. You have enough experience to face the storm and evolve from it." Being willing to face your inner storms sometimes gets you so focused on your emotions and your past that you forget to look up and notice that you have taken many steps forward, that life is not the same anymore, and that your behaviors are more supportive of your happiness. There is a moment of victory that eventually happens when you take your growth and healing seriously. You start to notice that you are no longer the same person who started the journey. Every day is not a great day. There are still plenty of challenges, but there is a new freshness to life, and the low points are not as low as they once were. Tough emotions don't control your actions the way they used to. When you do react, it is no longer as intense or overwhelming. You are not perfectly happy all the time, but that was never the goal. Instead, you feel a new sense of calm because you've more deeply embraced the inevitability of change. You don't fear the ups and downs, but you have learned to glide with them. Joy is more available to you because you spend time cultivating your patience and your ability to appreciate the present moment. You know that there is still much to heal and more ways to grow, but you are familiar with the rhythm of observing, accepting, letting go, and allowing transformation to occur organically. Embracing change is one of the most understated ways to improve your life. A lot of the mental tension we experience comes from rejecting change. The common pattern is to lament that something pleasurable has ended, or to roll in mental tension when something you dislike is occurring. Teaching your mind to ponder more about the reality of change will release some of the shock that comes when things actually do change in your life. Understanding that change is inevitable will help you recognize that everything has a time limit, which ultimately encourages you to be more present when you are doing things that bring you joy or when you are around the ones you love. Too often, we get caught up in our imagination, creating heavy narratives about the past or craving something in the future, altogether missing the beautiful moment that is right in front of us. Every moment has potential, and that potential is defined by how we arrive into it. Our minds have the power to turn a moment that might easily have been forgotten into something awe-inspiring and positively life-changing. Embracing change not only brings more joy into your life and enhances your resilience during tough moments, but also is the key to happiness and wisdom. Being attached to sameness dulls the vibrancy of life. And finally, everyone who is healing their old trauma and learning to live beyond the past is part of the solution. So just take the next few moments now to just allow each and every word you've heard today to settle. Imagining that your body is a snow globe, and each word is a little speck of glitter in the snow globe that's been swirling around. And now is the time where we set you down, allow the glitter to settle and the air to clear. And just trusting that anything at all that you heard today that resonated with you, felt helpful, struck a chord in some way. Trusting that that feeling can sometimes come when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing these truths to be enhanced within you so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition. Trusting that all the answers you seek exist within you already. And there's nothing and no one that can teach us more about ourselves and about our life, our sense of purpose and our passions than what quiet time with ourselves can teach us. And also observing ourselves when we are with the people we love and when we're feeling good, observing ourselves in those moments as well. Just each day getting a tiny bit more in touch with your passions and your sense of purpose in life. Remembering that you are incredibly special and valuable and needed here, even when you forget, even when it doesn't feel like it. The fact of your existence is the proof of your worthiness. So just allowing some awareness now to come into your heart as you just sync up your awareness with this rhythm of your own heartbeat. Remembering how this heart is always here for you. This heart has been your connection, your source of life from before you were even breathing air, from the time you were in your mother's womb up to this exact moment. This heart is your direct line of connection to the source that allows our hearts to beat. And you can fuel this connection simply by being aware of it. And so if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can just let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you feel this contact of your palms and fingers to one another, and press your thumbs toward your heart as you let your heart lift back toward the thumbs. And just welcoming in a final deep and full breath into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. Just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. I'm bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.